Hey there, everybody. Well, this is a treat. Caden McFarland alongside former OSU Cowboy Dion Amade, usually here in this spot to help us break down OSU games, but you know what? There is no OSU game this week.
Yes.
Unfortunately, did not make the Big 12 championship game. So we're going to talk about championship games nonetheless. Couple of big ones in high school football. This Friday night, you got number one, an undefeated Broken Arrow, looking for their first state title ever. More than 100 years of football, never won state. Jenks has won 13 state titles since 1996. They're number two in the state. Their only loss coming to Broken Arrow. And it wasn't that close, 28-13 way back in September. But 2 weeks ago in the state semis, Broken Arrow, who had beaten everybody by at least 2 touchdowns all year long, went to the half scoreless against Owasso and just did survive that game 10-7. So I know you've done a little bit of research on that. Dion has covered high school football all year long. For Cox Your View, is that the way to put it? Cox Your View, you guys do a fantastic job.
Thank you.
What did you see maybe that Owasso was able to do against BA that Jenks will probably try to emulate?
I mean, it wasn't no secret how BA was kind of dominating the state this year. I mean, that offensive line is incredible. I mean, me and Bill Hastings was talking earlier today, and he said, by far, BA's offensive line is probably the best offensive line he's seen in at least 20 years in Oklahoma. So they rode their coattails. Noah has done.
Noah Cortez, yeah, former FNL Player of the Week, by the way.
Exactly. He's done an outstanding job running behind that offensive line. And they got 2 quarterback system that they run. Cherry has been phenomenal. I call him a little Cam Newton back there. He does whatever he wants behind that line of scrimmage, and then when he gets into the open field, he's pretty fantastic. So it's going to be interesting to see how Jenks fares. Now, Owasso, they stood the test, and they competed, man. They competed. And what they did was they loaded the box. They put 8 in the box to bring those safeties down. They said, you are not going to be able to run the football on us.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing that everybody's been trying to do all season long. So the funny thing is, Owasso had success with it. Now you think about this matchup right here. In my opinion, watching both of those teams play, Jenks' defense is better than Owasso's.
They have been for most of the year, for sure.
For most of the year, right? So if Owasso had success stopping their running game, what makes you think Jenks won't?
So you think Broken Arrow is going to have to throw the ball with some success if they're going to beat Jenks?
Oh, definitely. I mean, number 26, Matt Kaiser, he's a pretty athletic wide receiver that they have over there on the outside. They're going to have to chunk the ball deep to him just to get them to loosen up that box. Even in my opinion, raise up and throw some screen passes. Really get that defense to widen out so you have those running lanes that you're used to. If you are able to do that, have some success setting up the run by passing the football, I think BA gets their first state championship.
Talking about Jenks now. All-time leading passer at quarterback in Ian Corwin.
Yeah.
Noah Hernandez, if people don't know, he leads the team in tackles. He's also got, I believe, 21 touchdowns scored as a running back, and they've only given him the ball like 100 times.
It's impressive.
I mean, you do the math on that. Give him the ball more, Coach. What do you expect from Jenks? How do they go about? You talked a little bit about, I guess, their defense. How does their offense attack that great Broken Arrow defense?
Well, it's impressive because I've covered Jenks 3 times, I believe, this season, and every time number 3 and Noah Hernandez touches the ball, it's going for a touchdown. It's always a good thing. He's a very explosive kid, maybe a better linebacker than he is a running back, and that's saying a lot. But offensively, they're going to have to spread that ball around because the secret to this BA success is the fact that they're so stout defensively. I mean, the linebacker core is amazing. They got a couple D1 athletes right there. And none to mention, the secondary is fantastic as well. Slusher being the top guy back there, number 2 recruit in the junior class for Oklahoma. So they got their hands cut out for them, but Jenks always has something up their sleeves, and I do not think it's going to be any different this year in that state championship game. They're going to have to rely heavily on Waters and Noah Hernandez in that backfield. Hopefully Ian Corwin, the clutch player that he is, can pull something out, but it's going to be a very, very heavy task for them.
That coaching staff, starting with Riggs, I think they learned well from Alan Trimble because this team, I think, from the jump this year, has really resembled an Alan Trimble team. They've just picked up where he left off. They've They've been well coached week after week after week. Do you have a pick on what's going to happen this Friday night at TU?
Well, I mean,
put him on the spot.
On the hot seat a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen both of these teams play. Impressed with both of them throughout the year, but the team that I was really impressed with was Broken Arrow. For a long time, I was saying I don't see a way they could get stopped from getting that first gold ball. I think BA gets it done. It's not going to be by the big margin that we all thought it would be earlier in the season, but it's still going to be enough to go ahead and take that state championship.
They've been overpowering, and that would be an incredible story. Either way, it's an incredible story. Keith Riggs taking over for Alan Trimble. If he was able to win a state title in his first season as head coach, just like Trimble did, well, that would be something. But Broken Arrow, more than 100 years of football, no state championship.
They're hungry.
To finally break through and knock that door down, that would be something else.